Robots are getting real, dangerously real. If you thought AI was just about chatbots and clever apps, think again. This week, a humanoid robot snapped in the middle of a live demo and started swinging at engineers like it was auditioning for a Terminator reboot. The footage set social media on fire, and it's only the beginning. As AI-powered machines move from labs and factories into our everyday lives, the line between innovation and risk is getting razor thin. Today, we're unpacking that viral robot meltdown, exploring what really happened, and diving into the latest AI and robotics breakthroughs that are changing the world and maybe making it a little scarier. So, buckle up. The future is here, and it's not always friendly. Let's get into it. It started as a routine test in a Chinese factory. A half-finished humanoid robot, suspended from a crane like a marionette, was going through a simple range of motion check. 2 engineers stood underneath, tablets in hand, reading out servo IDs and monitoring the bot's movements. Suddenly, every joint in the robot spiked. The machine windmilled its arms, kicked its feet, yanked the suspension line sideways, and slid its welded stand across the polished concrete. A desktop PC smashed to the floor, a bucket of fasteners scattered. Both engineers dove out of reach while the crane hook groaned overhead. The whole tantrum lasted maybe 20 seconds, but it was enough. The security camera footage hit the internet and racked up over 100,000 views in just 4 hours. Comment threads exploded with jokes about Skynet and Terminator. One viewer wrote, "Sarah Connor was right." Another posted a gif of RoboCop's ED-209 falling down the stairs. Even a surgical resident chimed in, admitting the scene reminded him that a surgical robot is, at the end of the day, just motors and firmware. But behind the memes and movie references, the incident struck a nerve. It looked like the robot had gone rogue, breaking free from its programming and lashing out at the humans around it. Was this the first sign of a machine uprising? Not quite, but the reality is just as unsettling. So, what actually happened? According to engineers who reviewed the footage and the robot's logs, the meltdown wasn't the result of a rebellious AI. Instead, it was a classic case of software meeting the messy real world. The robot was tethered from the head for safety, a common practice during public demos. But the software running its balance algorithm didn't account for the physical constraint of the tether. The robot's sensors kept telling it that it was falling, so it tried to correct itself. Each correction was resisted by the tether, which the robot interpreted as even more instability. The result? A violent feedback loop of increasingly aggressive movements. The engineers later admitted it was a combination of a program setting flaw and possible sensor input complications. The stabilization code, designed for ideal lab conditions, simply wasn't ready for the unpredictable variables of a live demo. What looked like a robot with a mind of its own was, in reality, a machine caught in a loop of bad data and overcorrection. Still, the scene was terrifying, and it raised a much bigger question. As robots become more advanced and more autonomous, how do we make sure they stay safe? This isn't just a one-off story. Around the world, humanoid robots are moving out of the lab and into real-world jobs. In China, a car company is putting life-sized blonde humanoids with ponytails and sunglasses into showrooms to sell vehicles. These robots aren't just for show, they're greeting customers, dispensing bottled water with carbon fiber fingers, and answering questions about car features. Their sunglasses aren't a fashion statement, they hide a surround view camera array that gives them 360-degree vision. Every fingertip carries sensors that can feel when a customer taps a brochure. Meanwhile, in Germany, a robotics company has launched a humanoid worker that can run for 8 hours straight and costs less than a Tesla. This robot doesn't walk, but it bolts onto a wheeled base and can carry more than its own weight. Its arms sport advanced gearboxes, and its hands can clamp down on objects with precision, all while navigating factory floors using LiDAR and 3D cameras. The sales pitch is brutally practical. Test it in your factory, and if it makes financial sense, keep it. And then there's Hyundai. The Korean automaker, after acquiring Boston Dynamics, is now bringing the famous Atlas robots onto its factory floors. The goal? Build 300,000 electric cars a year, with the help of robots that can climb stairs, step over conveyor tracks, and thread through workspaces designed for humans. Hyundai's investment in automation is massive, and the company is betting that robots will boost safety, efficiency, and production capacity. But on the other hand, let's watch this video of a mecha shown on your screen to find out how dangerously serious and truth-spoken this AI can be. But as robots become more common in everyday life, the risks are becoming harder to ignore. The viral robot meltdown in China wasn't the only incident. Earlier this month, another high-profile demo went off the rails. At a major tech event, Unitary Robotics was showing off its H1 humanoid when the robot began moving erratically on stage. Its movements became increasingly aggressive and unpredictable, leaving the audience scrambling in fear. Investigations revealed a similar story. The robot was tethered from the head for safety, but the balance algorithm wasn't designed to handle that constraint. The robot's sensors kept telling it that it was falling, so it tried to correct itself over and over until the corrections turned into wild, flailing movements. The engineers admitted the malfunction was due to a program-setting flaw and possible sensor errors. Once again, the robot wasn't rebelling. It was just caught in a loop of bad data and overcorrection. Robotics experts were quick to point out that these incidents aren't evidence of AI gone wild. They're examples of what happens when software designed for perfect conditions meets the unpredictable real world. But the lesson is clear. As robots become more capable and more autonomous, the need for robust safety systems is greater than ever. So, what's being done to prevent these kinds of incidents in the future? The robotics industry is taking the warning seriously. Companies are now developing advanced emergency shutdown systems that can detect unusual motion patterns and immediately cut power if something goes wrong. Testing protocols are being overhauled to include every possible constraint, from sensor errors to unexpected physical limitations. Robots are being stress tested in environments that mimic the chaos of the real world, not just the controlled calm of the lab. There's also a growing emphasis on embodied intelligence, which means giving robots the ability to perceive and interact with their environments in more human-like ways. This includes advanced motor coordination, vision, and language skills. The goal is to make robots more adaptable and less likely to fail catastrophically when something unexpected happens. But even as these safeguards improve, the pace of innovation is relentless. In 2025, experts are calling this the year humanoid robots go mainstream. Funding is pouring into the sector, with billions of dollars invested in the first few months alone. Companies are racing to bring their robots to market, promising everything from home assistants to factory workers to retail sales bots. The excitement is real, but so are the risks. As robots become more autonomous, the potential for unintended consequences grows. A software bug or a sensor error can turn a helpful assistant into a hazard in seconds. And as robots take on more complex tasks, working alongside humans, navigating crowded spaces, making decisions on their own, the margin for error shrinks. It's not just about physical safety either. The rise of agentic AI systems that can set their own goals and act independently raises new questions about control and accountability. What happens when a robot makes a decision that harms someone? Who's responsible? The manufacturer, the programmer, or the owner? These are questions that regulators, engineers, and ethicists are racing to answer. Meanwhile, the march of progress continues. In China, robots are now appearing in car showrooms, greeting customers and answering questions. In Germany, factory robots are working 8-hour shifts. In the US, hobbyists are printing their own humanoids at home. And in Korea, robots are building cars that will soon be on the road. The rapid adoption of robots is also reshaping the workforce. Labor unions are worried about job displacement, while management argues that robots will boost safety and efficiency. In the factories of tomorrow, you might see human technicians working alongside fleets of robots, some hauling heavy parts, others performing delicate assembly, and still others handling logistics and quality control. The big question is, how do we balance the benefits of automation with the need for safety and human oversight? The answer isn't simple, but one thing is clear. As robots become more capable, the stakes are getting higher. So, what do you think? Are you excited about the rise of humanoid robots, or does the thought of a machine snapping mid-demo give you pause? Would you trust a robot to work alongside you, or sell you a car, or even help out at home? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If this video made you rethink a few things, hit like and subscribe for more deep dives into the wild world of AI and robotics. The future is coming fast, and we'll be here to break it all down. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.